For this quarter 3 in Science 8, we're going to discuss lessons about chemistry, specifically under the particle natures of matter in weeks 1 and 2. Good day, I am Teacher KG and I am here to walk with you in your science journey. If you are new in my channel, just click subscribe and please share this video to all science enthusiasts. In the first 2 weeks in Science 8, Quarter 3, we will be discussing more about the particle nature of matter. And during the lessons, you will encounter the following important terms: the matter, non-matter, molecule, atoms, angstrom, and the particle model of the 3 states of matter. At first, let us juggle your memory from the past lessons that you have learned from your grade 7 lessons about matter. You recognize that there's a variety of materials, and these materials combine in many ways and through different processes. With this diversity of materials, you learned that chemists came up with several ways in classifying them, such as the heterogeneous and the homogeneous mixtures, the elements and the compounds, metals and non-metals, and also the acids and bases. By engaging in simple scientific investigations, you were able to recognize some properties of solutions, which are classified as the homogeneous mixtures. You also studied the properties of common elements, compounds, metals and non-metals, as well as solutions of acids and bases. Okay, now that we have refreshed some of your memories from your grade 7 lessons, we will proceed to your new lesson in grade 8, which will be about the particle nature of matter. Okay, the approach in this video lesson is for you to observe and see through drawings, illustrations, or cartoons the different phenomena and the actual material that will help you gradually understand what the particle nature of matter is all about. In this lesson vlog, we'll be performing the following activities. Activity 1, which is entitled "Which is matter and which is not." In this activity, we will learn more about the common properties of matter for us to be able to distinguish between the matter and the non-matter. And for the second and third activities, with the activity titles "What is matter made of?" and "Are the particles of matter moving? What is between them?" you will look at situation that supports the idea that matter is actually made up of tiny particles, which you cannot observe with your unaided eye. This fundamental idea will enable you to learn that properties of matter are a result of arrangement of particles in which they are made of. And without further ado, let's start this video lesson vlog and dive into learning. Okay! But before anything else, we will have a short exercise in which I will show you different samples in which you will point out if it is a matter or not. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? Okay. Just please ready your ball pens and please ready your paper so you can answer with me while I am flashing the pictures that I have for you. Before you answer, let me show you the samples that we have that we will be identifying. Okay, first we have the sugar granules. This is muscovado. So right now I don't have any washed sugar in my home. Just this. So I have already measured it in my medicine cup. This is my available material in my home. Okay, next It's the water. So this is my teapot right here. And straight from my grandma's garden, we have the next sample. This would be the stone. Okay. Next, since I don't have a ball, let me present you a picture. Ding! The air inside the ball. Next, the leaves. Okay. All animations. Next, smoke. The heat, and last would be light. Okay, see you. Are you ready? Get your pen and paper and mark it check if it is a matter and mark X if it is not. Okay, so please get your pen and paper and be ready. Let's start with the sample number 1. Okay, sugar granules. So I will give you 5 to 10 seconds to think if it is a matter or if it is a non-matter. Okay, time is up. Your time is up. So what do you think is the answer? Okay. If you give a check, if you give the answer a check, you are correct. Okay. So you are ready for the next sample? Okay, sample number 2. Again, timer starts now. Okay, do you have your answer? Okay, if you give it a check, you are correct. Okay, let's move on to the next sample. Okay, we're done with this. Okay, we will have the next sample. Sample number 3. A stone. Time is up. Okay, let's have the timer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so are you done? So if you have gave it a check, are you excited? You are correct. Okay, next. The air inside the ball. Okay, time is ticking. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, if you mark it check, again, you are correct. So how are you doing so far? So don't be disheartened if you have wrong answers. We will learn more on our next. So that we're not finished. Okay. So next, how about the smoke? Smoke. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, smoke. What do you think it is? Okay, so let me give you the answer. If you give it a check, again, you are correct. Okay, move on again. Next, we have the heat. The heat. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What do you think about the heat? Is it a matter or not? Okay? If you answered X, 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 you are correct. It is a non-matter. Okay, last but not the least, we have the light. Okay, it's blinding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What do you think? Is light a matter or is it not? Okay, so let me give you the answer. It is not. So therefore, the answer is X.
But wait, are we forgetting something? How about the leaves? Is it matter or is it not? Okay, in 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is your answer? If your answer is checked, you are correct.
Okay, what do you think of those answers? So before we tackle that, okay, we will proceed now to the lesson. Okay, so we will go over some questions and we will go over some answers and discuss why did we have those answers. Okay? Okay, let's go over to the questions that I will read to you. So try to reflect and think of your answers before I will discuss it. Okay, we'll have the question number 1. What do you think are the similarities of the first 5 samples?
So here are the 5 samples: sugar, water, stone, leaves, and the air inside the ball. So I will let you think for a moment for your answer. What do you think is the similarities of these 5 samples? Okay? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
The similarities in the first 5 samples is the first 5 samples can be measured. It can be measured or quantified. Okay? So let me discuss the samples about the manner of how it is measured. Okay. What do you think when we buy sugar? Do we buy it by granule? I think no. Okay. Do you buy it by spoons? No. But we buy it by kilos, by pound. And we use weighing scales in weighing the desired amount that we need. Okay? So that's how we weigh sugar. Okay? How about water? How do we quantify? How do we measure water? Okay. So when we buy in convenience stores and also in filling stations, we buy water by milliliter, by liter, or whatever desired unit that we use in quantifying fluids. Okay. How about stone? Okay, stone has mass. Okay, it has weight. So stone can be measured by the desired weighing scale that you like. Okay?
How about the air in the ball?
Do you believe it? We can measure air? Yes, we can measure it. Air is measured by the pressure it exerts. Okay? So how about the leaves? How about the leaves? Okay. I'm sure that a big amount of leaves can be counted. Okay, it can be counted. Okay, and if you have a bag full of leaves, you can also weigh it. Those are the first 5. How about the other samples? How about smoke? Okay, how about smoke? Why did we say that it's also a matter? Surprised that smoke is also a matter. Well, do you have these questions? Can it occupy space? Does it have mass? How do we measure it? Well, what do you think? Well, surprise, surprise, smoke is also a matter. How? Okay? Well, when you trap a smoke into a container, you will notice, and you can notice, that smoke can occupy the container. And it also has a mass. Okay? How do we measure smoke? Okay, let me tell you this. Measurements are done by photometer. A photometer system. It shines vertically through the tunnel near the exhaust end. The percentage of light observed in the smoke in the exhaust gases is recorded against time. The area under the curve obtained is taken as the total of the reduced smoke. Okay, we have the photometer. Photometer is used to record the measurements of smoke. Heat is a form of energy, and energy is not a form of matter because it is not made up of atoms and molecules. Same with light. Light is also a form of energy. Light or visible light is an electromagnetic radiation within the portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that can be perceived by the human eye. So right now, based on your observations, you have described some characteristics of matter. As you were observing each sample in our exercise 1, you were focusing on a particular characteristic. And these characteristics that describes a sample of matter are called the properties. Okay? So matter can have different properties, but we have the common or the fundamental properties of matter. We have the mass, weight, volume, and density. But one common property that all matter has, and the most common that is always mentioned and will always come in mind will be the mass and also the volume. Matter have different properties, but we have the common or the fundamental properties of matter. These are the mass, weight, volume, and density. You measure the mass of each sample of matter using a balance or a weighing scale. The mass of an object is a measure of the amount of matter the object has. You observe that the mass of each sample of matter in activity 1 is different from the mass of other samples. You also found out that each sample of matter occupies space, just when we poured water in a container. The fluid assumes the shape of the container as it occupies space. Therefore, the measure of the space occupied by an object is called volume. Keep in mind that all matter have mass and volume. The other fundamental properties of matter are weight and density, beside the mass and volume. So let us define what is weight and density. Weight is the measure of force that is equal to the gravitational pull of an object, while density is the measure of compactness of matter described by its mass per unit volume. Okay, besides the fundamental properties, we also have other properties of matter. So we have the hardness, we have the texture, the color, the flexibility, malleability, and the electrical conductivity, which vary from one sample to another. So science adventurers, have you learned something? So right now we are nearing the end of our lesson. So let me give you a walkthrough of what we have learned. Okay? So we are all familiar with matter, which we describe as anything that takes up space and also has volume. Okay, as we observe in our daily lives, we can easily conclude out of evidence of our experiences that we always see that all thing has mass and volume, and we call it matter. May it be solid, liquid, or gas. But way back centuries, when there's still no sensitive equipment to prove that air could take up space and could have mass, it is difficult for scholars to prove that air also belongs to matter. But thanks to our scientists, they paved way to proving that air is also a matter because of their inventions of equipment that could measure the air pressure. So did you learn something about our lesson for today? So if you have learned something, let me give you a clap for your effort in learning. But before we end this lesson, or video lesson, you will have to answer this fast brain teaser. Okay? So please ready your pen and paper and try to answer these questions. Did you learn something? Did you get all the answers correct? Okay? So if not, don't be disheartened. You can always watch the video of this particular activity in our week 1 lesson. So this is your teacher KG, and I will see you in the next activity. So that will be activity number 2. Okay. This is not goodbye, but see you on the next lesson. Happy learning!